statistically, often ends up the winner.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jamal Adams, their #1 pick a year ago, there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Eluding the pressure right. It finds his target, Fuller. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Morris Claiborne makes the play defensively. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Steve McClendon able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. And the Jets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Yep. Run what you do best.
On the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On 2nd down, Darnold. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for a Nunwa there. 3rd down here.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Detroit! Detroit!
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And this one is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold it.
He trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Leonard Williams in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 43. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Play fake, and it's Darnold going up top. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And that one results in 35 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. First down carry now for Crowell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Gone! 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 Check the backer! Check the backer!
To throw is Darnold. He's got it. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
They'll try and punch it in with Crowell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They get it to him running left, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight.
Now Darnold on third and goal. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Jermaine Kearse, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, Watson. And this is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Caught left side Hopkins. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. So that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. On first and 10, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big-time play there for the Texans. And even 50 yards. Watson on first down. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. First down now, but that clock rolling. Watson looks to throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And he's able to put it through. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back to throw, Darnold. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Lucky 56.
Back to the air, Darnold on second down. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flush to his right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Leopard! Black 99 Philly, here we go!
Darnold now to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Over the middle, complete. It's Hopkins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The gain of 39 that time. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st down, it's Watson. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Come back! Come back!
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. The 20. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now a 1st down throw. Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10.
Over!
After the interception, here's Darnold. Steps away. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He couldn't hook up with a Nunwa that time, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now a handoff to Crowell. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Watson, and he fires one incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Watson now to throw, and he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. To the air yet again, Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his third touchdown now on the year. Then the Texans are in for 6. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
On first down, it's Darnold. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Jets on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Darnold from the gun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely online. It just needs a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 50, it's Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Come back, come back!
From the gun, here's Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Throwing on first down. Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to the air. Watson on second down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. A shotgun snap for Watson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 3-19. 3-19. Leopard.
A first down throw, Darnold. Steps away to his left. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Here's a give to Crowell. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Play action. It's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe match.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Caught here by Griffin. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he coughed it up, and the Jets have recovered.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. This is Crowell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Stepping up, he'll try and run. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Leopard!
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Whitney merciless. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Reset. Richmond.
Watson on 3rd down. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big gain of 39 on 3rd. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. Drops it to Blue, complete. He's to the 10, and down to the 7-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Back to throw, Darnold. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Darnold now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Anunwa, the intended target. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. he stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.